right, so this talk of security guards threatening mass action, a mass strike, if you will, it's about the deductions of their money, millions of rands, in fact, by companies. The Kungwini Amalgamated Workers Union is among those hardest hit by employers who are deducting monies and not paying the appointed services providers. So let's find out what the union's going to be doing about this. Their national coordinator and current chairperson on the National Bargaining Council for the private security sector here in SA is Mr. Khumbulani Moyo joining us this morning. Mr. Moyo, good to have you on the show. I appreciate the time. This sounds very messy. How did this happen? This doesn't sound very fair.
No, morning to your viewers, and also compliments of the new season.
Thank you, to you too.
And also to all the security officers across the country. The background on how it happened is that in 2020, we signed the main collective agreement that was supposed to be implemented for medical insurance for all security officers. This started on the 1st of March 2020. So the company that was appointed to be the service provider by the Bargaining Council was Affinity Health Insurance. Then thereafter, once it was implemented from the 1st of March, some companies decided to do fraud and scam. These are major companies that we have investigated from last year. Like I've said, that the scheme started on the 1st of March 2020. The companies copycatted the benefit for security officers, and then they started to deduct. And some of the major pharmaceutical companies which have got subsidiaries in some of the companies that are doing that fraud, since we have started our investigation, are big name companies that are well-known brands, that we have spoken to them as the Bargaining Council, firstly, through our inspectors, and then also as organized labor, and through ourselves as Kungwini Amalgamated Workers Union. Workers have come in to say there are deductions that are happening, which is 150 on the 2020 agreement from each employee. The employer was supposed to contribute 100 rand. These reflect on the pay slips of the employees.
So there is evidence?
There is evidence. And then also we have contacted those companies to say there is this issue where employees are complaining that there is a deduction of 150 from their salaries and they are not getting the benefit. And also they don't have the membership card, they don't have even the membership form that acknowledges to say these are the benefits.
What do the companies say? What did the companies say, Mr. Moyo, when you brought this up? What was their reaction? What are they doing?
No, these companies that we have highlighted in our documents that we have submitted to the Medical Council of South Africa, of schemes, and also the Financial Sector Conduct Authority to investigate. They don't have answers. They dig and dive and they threaten us as the unions to say, you either withdraw this or we take you to the cleaners through their legal team. And we have said since last year, around June or July, we are not going to withdraw that because the employees are supposed to benefit from these deductions or from this medical insurance that was agreed upon by both parties, organized employers and organized unions.
Let's talk about this planned strike then. You say that the companies in question, you've addressed the issues with them. They're threatening legal action. You're threatening mass action, a mass strike. Why not go the legal route first, if I may ask?
Through our legal team, the unions that we are involved in, through our legal team, we've sent legal documents to them and legal questionings, and also we're currently busy compiling all the affidavits to open a criminal case with the Hawks, because we want those directors to be arrested and also to be prosecuted for the scam.
For fraud?
Yeah, for fraud, yes. We have done that. We will be approaching the Hawks because it's more of a serious offense because it involves millions of amounts. And
how many security personnel are we talking here? Can you give me a number?
With the three unions, which is KAU and SATAU and Abangobi Security, they are roughly, which have approached us, which have done deductions, which have got confirmations on these three major companies that I would name, and also the pharmaceutical companies that would name, that we have said this pharmaceutical company is quite big. and it can't be found in such scam and such fraudulent issues. You would know when it's government, then it raises a lot of eyebrows. When it's these private companies, then it's sort of like a soft spot to them.
And numbers-wise, when we talk about like a mass action, how many people would be taking
in the
part?
3 unions, we've got plus minus 30,000 of our members collectively, which is KAU, SATAU, and Abangobi Security, which we've been following on these deductions that has been happening throughout the country, from Western Cape, KZN, and in Gauteng, on the way these 3 major companies are operating.
I was about to ask you, where are these companies situated? What are the big provinces? But you answered that. So what's the timeline here? You've taken legal advice. You're busy dealing with that. You've tried to meet with the companies. You say that they're just brushing you off. Now we potentially, Mr. Moyo, are going to see mass action, mass strike action. What's the timeline? When's the cutoff? And what is the effect going to be of a strike like this?
The timeline is that on the 31st of January, we'll be having our big press conference where we'll announce the timelines in our mass action. They are going to be in 3 folds. The first fold is that all companies that are using these companies, they are going to feel the heat. It's not all of them. Currently, 260,000, they are registered with Affinity, they are in good standing. The 30,000 of them that are in our books currently, they are those that are not in good standing with the Affinity Insurance Health, which is affecting workers. So that's the first action. The clients also are going to be affected. Then secondly, we've done similar march of non-compliance through the Bargaining Council and through the unions to the Treasury. But it seems like the Treasury did not respond positively, and we are not happy with that. And these companies, the third part is that they continue getting huge tenders from government, and they continue charging higher amounts to the government in excess of one security office. If you look at the courts, it's next to about 20,000, but a simple 150 or 100 rand that they're deducting from the employees, they're also pocketing it.
I want to ask you this just before we begin to close our conversation. What exactly, if there was an amicable solution to this, what would that solution look like? Because this money's being paid over, the workers aren't getting the benefits. Could that be the solution? If you all came together around a table, what would the solution be before we get to any strike action?
The solution is in 2 folds, like I've said. Firstly, one of the major companies that is perpetuating this through this scam is Dis-Chem. So want Dis-Chem to disassociate themselves with Kaelo. Kaelo is one of the partners that is copycatting the benefit that the workers have. And then second, all these employers that have been deducting, you would know that in insurance it works on payment.
Yeah.
So all these deductions that have been done to the employees, we need those amounts to be refunded. And then the third one is that these employees, these companies, they need to register with Affinity on or before the 31st of March 2023. That's when the new main collective agreement is going to be implemented. The minister has signed it on the 14th of December 2023 to all the extended parties, even the non-parties to the Bargaining Council, it has been extended. So there's no excuse for any employer to not have that benefit to all the employees. They need to register with the Affinity, which is the current service provider, and also the Affinity needs also to meet the service levels agreement, where they need to make sure that these employees, they manage to get because in this the benefit, there is the 27 chronic benefits that the employees are able to access. And then also there is over-the-counter medication. There is also private doctors which they need to contact.
It's their health that we're talking about, apart from the money.
Yes.
It's not just their money at all.
Yeah, it's just not money just being thrown to the train. It's a benefit that we fought for over 20 years in the security sector. So these employers, we feel that whatever they are doing, and also Dis-Chem, it needs to come out and say they are disassociating themselves with Kaelo, and then also Universal Health also. They need also to abide by what the main collective agreement says.
And we have those dates down, Mr. Moyo, and I think what we're going to be doing is touching base with you again. So 31st of January is when this could all fall over quite badly as well. And we also have that other timeline, which I was looking for, 31st of March, and we've got to watch. But I appreciate you coming in. I'm sure we're going to be in touch again, because this is going to be a big, big issue if this doesn't get sorted out very, very quickly. And it's a pleasure to have with us Mr. Khumbulani Moyo, KAU National Coordinator, joining us here on eNCA this morning. We're